we gonna talk about this game. I got the game all behind me, but
I got it on in front.
You know, we all coming to you live during the playoff game. You know, representing Brock. You know, and I represent Kittle today too. You know that connection. You know, I'm gonna say hi to him. You know, we give all the love. We're gonna say hi to him though. But yeah, this is the Side of the Storm broadcasting to you live. We missed y'all for the past couple of weeks. You know, life happens. You know, but we here today. Brent got his double cup. You know, I got my bourbon in the Burbs cup. I mean, I'm drinking Angel's Envy today because I'm out of Revelton, but we already working on that. So I'm not calling out ship again this time. He already heard that call out.
It's too early in the day for me to have some in my cup.
So you still an hour away. For me, it's 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock somewhere for me, man.
I know I'm gonna have to make a grocery store run or something before the night's over.
Yeah, you got sunlight out behind you.
Man, you see
it?
Yeah.
Oh man, but Three Beers Media. Hey, Three Beers got like 1,000 shows out now, man. Shit, what you doing, man? You was building this. You building a platform, man. Like a new show coming out every week. It's like, you know what it reminds me of? No Limit. Every Tuesday, everybody waited for that No Limit drop. And, you know, if you still got some of them No Limit covers, man, you got some money in your pocket. Because, man, that's when you really went for the CD, got the cases. You was excited to unwrap it. It had the hologram. It had you know, man, it was live, man. Tuesday, release day. Y'all remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. You know, I remember it. You know, growing up in Louisiana.
I was gonna say, when we right next door in Texas, so we got a whole lot.
Try to get two of them to have one not to mess up.
For real.
Yep. All my CDs got stolen like the night of prom. I think somebody was playing a prank and I never found out. But they put the Sunday paper in my car and stole my CD case. You know them big, like the 300.
Right.
I had all these cases, but I had no CDs because you just put the 300 in there. You had your Alpine or whatever you had in your car. You couldn't make mix. Back then we couldn't make mix or burn. It was like that was too new and too expensive. So you actually had real money built into these CDs. So your shit was over 300.
Maurice Claret got in trouble for when he was at Ohio State.
Oh yeah,
he was like, I had two 300 CD, and they was like, what'd you pay for those with, sir? Like, you're a college student, you're not supposed to be able to afford that many CDs.
And we was paying that $22 on Tuesday for the Cain and Abel album. Who is Cain and Abel? We don't know. We got to listen to him to find out who that is. That's marketing for you, man. That is marketing for you. But we here today. Three Beers Media, Brewdog Farms, Hot Sauce, Revelton Distillery, Coach's Colossus, Loaves of Hunger, or Hunger Loaves, Trice Legacy. We all here in the building today, and representing everything that's out there. But yeah, we wanted to come live, and we missed a couple of the basketball games. We'll get into that in a minute, but we wanted to come live during this game to see how them boys do against these Niners. So I mean, I'm out here and Mark is out here, so we see it all the time, and they've been selling knockoff Purdy jerseys out here for like $50.
That's tragic.
One letter up here, one letter down here, but people buying them for $50 because they're like, I need a Purdy jersey.
Right.
And Purdy's parents live out here. He's from out here in Arizona. So, the Purdy mania is on point. He probably got some high school Purdy jerseys out there floating around now. I ain't seen them on social yet, but
you just got to hit them old jersey shops, them outlets.
Yeah.
They'll make one up for you real quick.
Yep. We just got to see if they got an NIL for high schools, what can we find out there? Mm-hmm. But we gonna get into basketball season because that's what we typically do right now. But again, because we got Purdy out there, did want to throw out some announcements that we missed. So we missed a couple things by not being on, but we had some big things kind of coming up. And so, one of the things that we had come up was Jordan Lang's, so we had a couple hires this season, this off season. So coach has been doing this thing. So, we had Jordan Lang's come out here, he was head coach out there, coming back and being our running back coach. I don't know much about this guy, but, it's been a lot of hype around, bringing these people in because, Matt Campbell is a big, transfer portal. I would say it's a big transfer portal type of school as well. Nowadays, we get some good recruiting from Indiana Wesleyan, out here to Iowa State. So, good luck. See how he does for us this year. We also had, let's see what else we had. We had, let's say, Petit. We had Petit come in here, Hank Petit. He was at Wisconsin. So he was assistant coach at Wisconsin, played in the NFL. So we brought him out here, assistant coach and cornerbacks coach. So, hopefully, I want to see what he does with the cornerbacks. Anthony Johnson Jr. was one of our CBs, and so he had a breakout year this year for him. But, I'm looking to see how Hank Petit do that. What other hires we had? We had Ray Clayton hired offensive line. He was a coordinator and line coach at UNI. What's funny about this hire? Not funny, but David, that used to be our assistant AD when I was the AD at UNI. So they took one of our people. We just took one of their people. So, Ryan, maybe we could bring some of that stuff because, at the beginning of the year, that UNI game is a toss up sometime. We don't know who's going to show us, just like that Iowa game. You don't really know. So he can give us some secrets of like how they used to prepare for us. So that inside track right there. So that was a football off season thing. And then the last one that I got to share is, our strength and conditioning core is now done. We had 3 former Boise State staffers. So we got Jalen Baker, Brandon Patus, what I can't say it, and Lucas White. They came over with some other coaching changes that came over this year. So they followed some people, but now we got some strength and conditioning. I want to see if we can get Getty on here to see what he thinks about these forecasts taken. So, I'm gonna reach out to Getty and see what he talking about. Because he was the man back when we were there. So
definitely a legend. Definitely a legend.
Yeah. So we gotta get a hold of him and tell him to come on our cast though. So yeah, just wanted to share those couple things about football because there's a lot in this offseason. So now we looking at where we at now. Football playoffs.
It looks like we're up 3-0.
Yep, he said we.
I'm going with
right today.
Hey, gotta pull for the Cyclone.
Yep.
100%.
Yeah, I should call Seneca right now and see if he answers his phone and see if we get Seneca to come on the line. See what he think about. But you know what? I'm gonna call Seneca. We gonna do it.
Why not?
Let's call get Seneca. Done.
Let's call him real quick. See if he.
Oh boy, you way offside. Was it false?
Let's call this cat. Let's see where he. I heard y'all like when we bring in some guests. So let's see if he answer. He probably look at the number and say, "I'm not talking to George today." Let's see. He gonna act all proper too when he get on. He ain't gonna answer.
An automatic voice message system 425.
All right, he gonna probably text me and say, "George, what you need?" So I'm gonna tell him what we called. So we'll try him again. And if he texts us back, we'll tell him what we're doing. But one the blind side, how they do that Clarice Jenkins on the radio station, Ricky Smiley have some random person call. We was trying to do a Clarice Jenkins on them.
That's too funny. They be having them so fighting mad on there.
Oh yeah. Thinking it's real, but so what we're thinking, we had everybody picking these Niners, they looking at the fact that Purdy is not playing like a rookie. Hasn't been shaken. They call Burrow Joe Cool. And we saw what he did today. He never looked shook. And now we got Mr. Purdy out there. What y'all think about this?
I mean, he when he popped on the scene at ISU, obviously he popped up and became the man out of nowhere. I think it was against Oklahoma State, and they were like, "Man, who was this kid?" And he proved why. But I'm not gonna lie to you, crazy, presently surprised though that he's doing this well. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, it tells a lot to him and his professionalism too, kind of preparation, because I've been hearing crazy stories about him and all the extra work he's putting in. But the system he's in is helping him tremendously. I mean, he's got crazy weapons around him. So, but he's doing his thing though, man.
You just said it, and you said the word, the system. You know, he broke all these records at Iowa State, and he passing records and all these quarterback records that Seneca had held for a while, but we didn't win. We still went 7-5 was our best record. Like, you know, we did not get everything out of it, and he has some weapons around him, but the way they're doing things now and the weapons he's getting, and they keep adding things to this team. You know, this system is a right pick for him. It's like he went to the perfect the perfect place to play for his style and how he slings the ball.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you don't forget how to play the sport that you've played pretty much your whole life. You know, so once you get there, and he's been behind 2 quarterbacks from the beginning of the season, pretty much, and you know, still going through preparation, going through practice, being able to watch everything. You know, when they threw him out there, it's not like, you know, he's just going to drop back and throw it out of bounds. I mean, he knows how to play the game. So having all the weapons and everything that they have, that system, great coaching staff, you know, it makes it so much easier for him. They got a great line that, you know, keep the pressure off of him. So when you're able to, you know, make the plays, make the throws, and he has the ability to do a lot of good things with his feet too, you know, he can really make some plays happen. And I'm not that surprised, you know. I was on Twitter last week saying, you know, people need to stop acting like he was supposed to be the last pick of the draft. Like, I get he was the last pick of the draft, but we're not gonna act like he was supposed to be the last pick of the draft. So the 49ers definitely got a steal. I've been on the record saying that, you know, I would try to do something with Trey Lance and get some picks.
You are 100% right on there.
He's playing too well for that. He's playing too well for that. And the asset that you can have with Trey Lance, like, you don't want to mess that dynamic up again once he's injured. Not to take anything away from Trey, anything like that, but give him the opportunity to start over somewhere fresh, and then have the assets that you can get from other teams with a player like that. And then the next 5 to 7 years, you guys will be running things up there in San Francisco.
I mean, he's at that spot where, like you said, man, the camaraderie he's got with the guys, the team follows his lead now. So you're talking about possibly competing again. I mean, Brock stole his job. Like, that's it. He took it over. Ain't no handing it back off. You know what I'm saying? So it makes so much sense to move Lance. That's I second that, man. I really wish they would do it, because you know, give him a shot.
When you say this, so the way I look at it is, you're getting the last pick of the draft, rookie contract minimum, $400,000. So he's getting a $400,000 contract right now. He's balling like he's getting $20 million a year. But now you have, like you said, we have these weapons around him. You pass off a Trey Lance, who is still going to be a great quarterback, even if you keep Jimmy G. Jimmy G knew he was going to be a backup role, but you can get so much for Trey Lance at other positions to make this team a contending Super Bowl team for the years to come, because you're not paying a quarterback. And I think I said it our last thing. It's kind of like when you drafted, the Warriors drafted most of their players. The big 3 was drafted. It wasn't like they went and built this team. They were used with draft players. And so you're looking at what we're getting out of this drafted player, letting them build around him, play with some people that's around his age, because everybody's young in this league right now. I think it's going to be, you know, in their best interest to get rid of Trey, you know, get some money and some picks for him.
In the business sense of it being a business, like I said, there's nothing against Trey, anything like that. You know, it was nothing against, you know, Drew Bledsoe when he got injured, and then we got the GOAT from that. You know, if it just happens and it occurs in that way, you got to understand that it happens and occurs in that way. And it would be the noble thing for the 49ers to put him somewhere that needs a quarterback so he can have a fresh start, you know, and continue to build his career. What's the purpose of having this young guy in Brock Purdy that's playing well to compete with Trey Lance and everything like that to come in next year? And then it's you know, they're battling each other, and you know, it may be bad feelings there, like you heard about, you know, Aaron Rodgers and the young kid up there in Green Bay. So you don't want to get in that situation. Have it situated the way it's supposed to be. Have your backups that's going to back them up. You know, it's I don't know if it's a bad thing that he's he's not going to be paid what he's worth for a couple of years. But I mean, that's the business side of it all, and just, you know, let them continue to build and have this opportunity to, you know, propel off of it.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. But the one thing that I will say is, I want to make sure that they do the best thing for Trey Lance. If they do this, the reason why is because a lot of times you try to deal him out of your conference, out of your league, out of your division, so you don't gotta face that person, and it's not always the best situation for him. But I hope that even if it's in their division, they get him in the best possible situation to succeed, because I think he would have succeeded here where
he hadn't gotten injured. Right.
So you got to make sure you don't put him in a situation where it's bad for him. Put him in the best situation, because again, it's not his fault he got hurt. Just like they're gonna take care of Breece Hall. You know, it's not his fault he got hurt, and he was on pace to do some things. So I just put him in the best situation. Get the most you can for him, but don't shortchange him in what he could have been and what he was planning on doing.
Correct.
You know, but I want to do one more thing. I don't know if this cat's going to answer. I'm gonna call. I like calling this thing. Then now that we got this call thing, I'm gonna call one of my San Francisco people and see if he answer and just get his reaction on Purdy. I'm gonna tell him he on the call. See what he say, because we're watching it live, and he's gonna be like, "Why you calling during the game too?" Because you know he's in He's in Sacramento.
I got some Cowboy people that don't want to reply to a text right now. I'm like, it's just 3-0. I mean, you know what I mean? Give me.
I don't want to hear any negativity from you at this moment.
What?
No negativity. So you are on a live podcast right now. You're on my podcast right now. Okay. So you're with my boy Marcus. You with my boy Brent, and so we watching the game. We talking about Purdy right now. So this is my man Ramon right here, y'all.
What's up, Ramon?
What you thinking about this Purdy thing? We ain't gonna say nothing negative. Come on.
What do I think about Brock Purdy? Like, give me context, because you know I'm a Niner fan. I got a lot to think about it. So give me some context in which you're trying to answer that. Which I'm trying to answer the question.
So right now we were just talking about trading Trey Lance to get the most for him.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, hold on.
And then bringing weapons in.
This is what I would do.
Okay.
Right. This is what I'm talking about. If Brock Purdy at this moment has shown that he can run the offense.
Yep.
Right. If nothing more, he hasn't shown. I'm not going to show you that he's shown any greatness, but he's shown that he can run the offense.
Okay, got you there.
I personally, as a Niner fan, think Jimmy Garoppolo is a better quarterback and throws a better ball than Trey Lance.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Okay.
So if me as a diehard Niners fan, what I think would be what is a good situation here for the Niners is that we go into the offseason like we are right now. You trade Trey Lance for as much value as you can get.
Yes, sir.
You run with Jimmy Garoppolo for one more year because you still have that contract.
Yep.
You run with Jimmy Garoppolo for one more year because you still have that contract, and hope that by the end of next year, Brock Purdy is good enough to take the helm and run the offense from there. And at that point, you have Brock Purdy on a rookie contract with the defense that they have right now, with the offensive weapons that they have right now, and then you can trade Trey Lance you can trade Trey Lance for some depth at the O line and another skill position or another linebacker, because let's be for real, the Niners from the past 10 years have just been where linebackers go to eat.
Yep. Okay, I feel that. So I got a question about the Cowboys. They scored, but they missed the extra point. So we know. So I don't want to hear Cowboys fans anything. But from what you just said, do you think they should actually give back the starting position to Jimmy when he's healthy? Is that what you're saying?
I think I'll put you like, I think, the short answer to that is yes.
Okay.
Because it just makes sense for the plan.
Okay.
Right. The long answer is I don't think they ever should have gave Trey Lance that starting position in the first place.
Okay.
Right. I think going into this last season, what the Niners did is they basically flipped a quarter.
Okay.
They said we're either going to have this quarterback right now that we know is not good or is very average, but has a high upside, or we're going to go with the quarterback that we know is pretty goddamn good, but he always gets hurt. And he hasn't played a full season.
Yeah.
right? So they basically flipped the quarter and they went with the upside of the youth.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Okay. But now that we see what Brock Purdy is doing,
Brent over here smiling. Brent want to jump in here. I see Brent.
No. I'm listening. My man's been doing his research, so I'm listening.
You can't ignore the. It's not even that I'm doing my research. I'm just really am a Niners fan.
He's a diehard Niners fan.
I can hear it.
I'm really am a Niners fan, right? Because what you can't say, because ultimately, if you look at it like this, right? If you go to the beginning of the season, going into the beginning of the season, ultimately Trey Lance and Brock Purdy had no real like experience as starting quarterbacks. They got thrown into, we'll quote unquote call it thrown into their position. Mm-hmm. Trey Lance gets thrown into his position early in the season, no wins, no losses. He had a whole training camp, and he with all of that isn't as good as Brock Purdy is right now.
I like to hear that. You know I like to hear that.
Yeah, you take because you can't do this with a lot of games. Take any 4 game sample size. Take any 4 game sample size of both, right? And you're ultimately going to say, okay, you have to ride with Brock Purdy if you take any 4 game sample size, because that's really all you can do with these 2 quarterbacks to compare those two.
All right, now I'm gonna pause you. Hosts, okay. Jump in here. I see y'all. What y'all?
I got a question. So you say, Ramon, you said that the 49ers have Garoppolo still on the contract for 1 more year, or how many years?
I believe it's 1 more year for this year. Don't quote me on the amount of years. I believe that they readjusted the contract for the rest of this year and next year, and then the 3rd year he would be a free agent.
So what Brock has done this year, why not just make Garoppolo the backup that's as good as he is as a quarterback, and to give the ball to Brock beginning of next season and see how he pilots this thing at the beginning of the season? And if he doesn't, if he has some, hiccups and things like that, then we got Brock. Then we got Jimmy that's coming off the bench to relieve him, and then we go that way.
Let me preface before I answer that. Let me preface my statement with this. Okay. I believe that all quarterbacks who come into the league should not start in their first 2 years.
Okay. Okay. Now,
right, like that. I believe that about all quarterbacks. Right. So I think now that's that part. Now, with that being said, Brock Purdy, honestly, gets through his progressions probably a little bit better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Right. But Jimmy Garoppolo, A, got a cannon. Mm-hmm. B, he's been the starter in this playbook for a couple years. And C, I'm just let's be for real here. I like the Jimmy Garoppolo swag a little bit. You know what I'm saying? The dude who goes down there and the dude who pipes down porn stars and has a rocket arm is kind of cool in my book.
Pipes down porn stars and has a rocket.
No, that's easy to do as a pro athlete, though.
It's easier than one would think.
Right, it's easy to do as a pro athlete.
No.
So, Britt, you got something? I'm gonna say something. You got something, Britt?
No, I mean it's kind of funny. I'm listening to it. Like, I mean, I hear you, because I guess I'm going back to the quarterback shouldn't start first 2 years. I don't totally agree with that.
Okay,
there's some smart NFL ready quarterbacks at the college level. Obviously, the game speed is like, I mean, it's heightened like crazy, but I think in the right system, right. I mean, if you draft like a Purdy, like Purdy could have started this entire year with Shanahan and those weapons, right? So I don't think, and don't get me wrong, I didn't think that Brock Purdy would have played this first 2 years, but in this particular instance, it shows that in the right system, it doesn't matter. A quarterback can have a ton of success.
Okay,
so I think the first few years are perfectly fine.
Let me defend my statement. Right? Since that's what we're gonna do, let me defend my statement. That may or may not be true about Brock Purdy. We have no idea because he didn't start the whole season. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the deal though, right? is that when I make that statement, this inevitably happens. Somebody always picks out the anomaly where it worked, right? But all you're doing is picking out the anomaly. Yes, the anomaly.
I mean, this is just this is the first instance since you're a Niners fan. It just makes sense.
No, what I'm saying is, no, not just being a Niners fan. Everybody can say, like, if I say a quarterback shouldn't start in the first 2 years, somebody says, well, what about Ben Roethlisberger? Or what about somebody? I mean, there's always the anomaly, but they are the anomaly, right? But they are the anomaly. Most successful quarterbacks and most Hall of Famers and most people who you put the ball in their hand didn't start in their first 2 years.
Okay. So
you know what I mean? So like like you can probably pick the anomaly, but it is the anomaly. It's 1 out of 10, not 9 out of 10.
But I want to let you get back to the game because I know you're a fan. But I got this question for you now, based on everything you said. If Purdy takes these cats to the Super Bowl and they win the Super Bowl, this is a what if. This is all what if situations. Then do you still sit him next year and let Jimmy G take over?
If he goes to the Super Bowl and wins the Super Bowl, I personally would still want the scenario that I personally would still want, as a Niners fan, I would still want the scenario that I put out. But the realistic thing that is going to happen is that they're going to get rid of Trey. The realistic thing that will probably happen is that they're going to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo, and then what you're going to hear is in the offseason, it's a competition between Trey Lance and Brock Purdy.
Okay,
that's the reality of it.
That's going to be a disaster.
Yeah,
that's going to be a disaster. When Tony Romo went down and Dak came in, they didn't give the ball back to Tony Romo. I mean, it just is what it is. And Tony, Dak don't throw the deepest ball. He's not the best quarterback, but he runs that offense.
You are 100%.
So now
you are 100%, but correct. But there's a couple of things. There's a couple of things that are different.
Let me say this though. I'm gonna ask Brent this question. Hey, because Brent, you on the field, your quarterback gets hurt. The last part of the year, your backup quarterback takes you on to this next level. Y'all win whatever championship we want to talk about, whatever trophy you want to talk about. The next year, that quarterback that started with you most of the season is back and healthy and is coming. What would you want to happen? And as you being an ex-Iowa Stater football player, semi-pro, what would you want to happen?
I'm riding my team's momentum. So if we go on and win a Super Bowl, I'm going to try to keep the core of that team together. And the guy that took us there and led us through the playoffs and all of that, when the best ball is played, playoff time, he's going to be my starter going into the next year.
I feel that.
Okay. And using that argument over the past 2 years, the best ball that the Niners played is with Jimmy Garoppolo at the helm.
The past 2 years.
But
you're talking about this year. Best ball now is this year with Brock Purdy.
Yeah, the NFL is about right now.
Yeah,
it's
about right now. If you're talking about right now, we're talking about right now. We're talking about what he's been doing, having the team support him as a rookie coming in, having the coaches support him as a rookie coming in as a third stringer. As a third stringer to do what he's doing, he has respect of everybody in the NFL, in the country, black, white, Puerto Rican, and Asian. Like, he got everybody behind him, and that's why they can't keep Purdy jerseys on the shelf. Because it ain't that many Iowa Staters in the world, but Purdy jerseys are right now.
Well, hold on, but let's hold on.
Now.
There is, listen, I hate to admit it, but he's also very marketable. Right? Like,
hey,
he's Mr. Irrelevant thrown into a playoff situation, and he's real cute on the West Coast.
So what the 49ers are doing right now is what I'm saying is doing in NWA. He was like, let's get this money. That's what he's doing right now.
If Brock Purdy was put in the helm of like Cleveland.
But that's the point, Ramon.
Nobody would care.
That's the point, because we're talking about the system that he's in.
You're right.
Right.
So
you're right.
Yes. So, hey, you know what? But I'm letting you get back because we got other stuff to talk about. And I know you don't want to be on here all day. Or do you? Because I ain't talk to you in a minute.
I can do the football shit all day.
So Ramon is my homie from Sacramento, my golf buddy, my bowling buddy, my thirsty the whatever turtle. What was the name of the turtle bar we used to go to?
The glass turtle.
The glass turtle.
I had to wear them.
But no, this is my cat when I moved to Sacramento for about 3 years. Then before that, me and him worked together. So been my homie for a minute. But I appreciate you jumping on, man. Talking about it. We probably gonna call you again or something like that. We'll get you back on here.
All right.
But we
gonna
let you go enjoy. Are you at the home or you at Chris' house? Cuddy's house?
I'm at Chris' house.
Hey, tell Cuddy on the phone real quick.
This man barbecued steak and lobster for the game. What am I gonna say? No.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is what they do in California, I guess.
Hold on.
All right,
hold on. George is live on his podcast. I want to talk to you.
Man,
what's up,
you already
Cuddy?
know.
I know.
What's going on?
Man, I ain't get to invite you steak and lobster.
Hey man, you always welcome over here. You helped me hang up my first TV over here, man.
Yeah.
We finally had to upgrade after like 70 years though. You know what I mean? Finally got the 85-inch Sony over here now.
Okay.
That game watching you.
We were just calling.
That was a little flex.
He's flexing on here. But yeah, we on my podcast called Side of Storm. So, everybody out in Sacramento start listening to it because we got Cuddy and Ramon, some of y'all Sacramento's finest on the line. But we just wanted to say what's up to you, my man. So, happy you're doing good. Keep barbecuing. I'll come here as soon as see you, my homie.
All right, for sure, man.
All right, homie.
I'll let you, bro.
Peace. Man, what's that? So a lot of different, very similar and varying opinions.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, Brent, I agree that if someone took you to this level, you ride with them until they can't. Like you let them do their thing, because it was 9 quarterbacks taken in the draft this year. Brock was the last one, but he was also number 8 of 9 on the depth chart of who was going to perform and who was going to be good in the NFL. He was number 8 of 9 of those. Skylar Thompson for the Dolphins was the only one behind him. And he is outperforming and proving everybody wrong.
Right. And unless it's somebody like, Aaron Rodgers, they got injured, or Tom Brady or somebody like that who's been that quarterback for decades and, been in that role or whatever, and you stepped in. And even sometimes that may even occur, but Trey Lance hadn't even had that opportunity to, and we've seen the greatness or the lack thereof, some may say, of Jimmy Garoppolo, even though he's a good quarterback. But with them two being out and injured, bringing back, Trey and making him and Brock compete at the beginning of the year is just going to be a total disaster. Like, you have a great quarterback in Jimmy who has done a lot of great things for you guys already there. He was already going to be out of the door earlier before the season started, and you guys was able to bring him back. Trey got injured, and he came in, and he was a starter. He got injured. So, just have him there if he's under contract as the backup and move Trey for those assets and things that you can get, and just see what we're going to do with Brock at the beginning of the year. And if he doesn't, figure it out the way he's figured it out so far in the heightened part of the NFL season, which is the second half, if for whatever reason he lays the egg at the beginning of the year, you have that veteran in Jimmy to continue to mentor him and bring him along, and you go from there. I wouldn't understand, dividing the locker room now between him and Trey Lance. It's just going to be a disaster.
Now, the last question for both of y'all. What if he loses this game today? Keep him.
You said about him winning the Super Bowl. He wouldn't even have to win the Super Bowl for me. Okay. We're building, right? We're building for next year. It came with one team win the Super Bowl.
I just had to ask the question. I got to pay that. I'm with you 100% on that.
If he's not that guy that's going to win the Super Bowl, then it's not the Cowboys. It's not Dak. It's not we're going to win the Super Bowl this year, or it's a bust. We're pleasantly surprised what Mr. Irrelevant has done. And we're going to roll this. The wheel's not going to stop throughout the offseason. We're going to keep trucking.
There's a lot of with it.
Yeah, there's a lot of first-year quarterbacks that don't make it this far. So, I
mean, he can't. There's no way he doesn't have the start now. He has to lose the job at this point, starting the next season, because now that he has a team, he's captivating America. with this Mr. Irrelevant story. So again, it's a business. My man's selling jerseys like crazy. That's what they need.
Right.
People gonna show up to watch Purdy play now. So you can't just sit them down. I mean, obviously they got a fat contract to fulfill with Trey Lance and all of that. But I mean, it's Brock's team right now. So they need to decide who's going to be the person to mentor him and help continue to grow him so he has more success. Right. I think they need a veteran in Garoppolo, somebody who's won and had some success. They need to keep him around. I mean, find a way.
I feel you. Hey, NFL, I did not get the express written consent to air this on my podcast, but I want to let you know, just like on Facebook, I do not own the rights to this music.
Oh, we're not playing music.
But I want to make sure that the NFL know I'm not trying to make money off playing this in the background. This Iowa State we're talking about. So I don't want them coming after us because Three Beards Media put us on.
Yeah, so, Three Beards Media it was.
They in Iowa, they in Iowa. But no, so as we close out, because this will be basketball season, and we've been on here 40 minutes talking about football.
Hey, so, it's the pod. It's about the sport.
Hey, that's it. So, we're talking about sports, baby.
As we transition, anything else y'all want to say about the Niners, Purdy, Iowa State football before we transition to the basketball season?
Hey, Purdy's a man, and Brock we trust. I think that's what they used to say when he was here. So.
We need to get a circuit cutter thing and make some shirts.
Yeah.
Everybody's making shirts nowadays. I'm going to go out in front of that. Hey, the next round, I'm going out with some shirts I made on my circuit printer. And I'm going to be right there wherever they at. Rocking some shirts.
Straight up. Yeah.
Not licensed, going to be crooked. Some letters going to be falling off, but they're going to be authentic. But as we get to the past midpoint of our podcast, again, Three Beards Media is our sponsor. Well, not our sponsor, but they're our parent company. And we have Rebelton Distillery and Brown Dog Farms as our sponsor. So good looking on there. I actually used some of my hot sauce. I made some wings in the air fryer today and used some of my hot sauce, the pineapple one, on my wings. So I did some lemon pepper and some other seasoning on them, threw them in the air fryer, and then I put a little hot sauce inside of my barbecue sauce that I had. So gave a little spice and a little flavor, a little something. So, it was good. It was good.
I ain't gonna even act like I'm eating that hot sauce.
Oh man. So as we pivot, man, we had this Big 12 is tough.
Man, it is.
The Big 12 is tough. So because I'm waiting till we go down to Texas Tech because we bringing Nurse back on here when we go down because we beat them at home. We lost to Kansas by 2 points, huh?
They're winless in the Big 12, Texas Tech.
Yeah, but going down home, it might be different because we let them come back. We let them come back a little bit. Came back a little bit, so we let them get some light. But it wasn't like this Oklahoma State game where we were up 17 and lose by 2. That cannot happen. That cannot happen. But you look at that, you look at Kansas lost to who dropped K-State dropped Kansas, didn't they?
Yep. No, TCU beat them.
Oh, two of them, TCU and
right.
And
TCU was the latest. So KU ain't as tough. We tie with Kansas right now for second. But it's a tough Big 12, especially when they predict like 9 of us going to the dance. But there's some things we need to work on. There is, I was trying to find the stats I had on me, but this Oklahoma State game, we only shot, if I can find it, 20-something percent, 22.2% we shot from the 3-point field goal. 22%. And then 39% from the floor in general. Free throws, we were 58, and we out-rebounded them. That's good. We had less turnovers, and we doubled their steals. But shooting 22% from three-pointer and then shooting 40% from the field, that's not going to do it. Because I'm looking at, let me see something real quick. Iowa State, Texas. I wanted to see what that was too, because we got to find those stats too. But 22% ain't gonna win. 22, and that's why we lost by 2 points. 22%. When we're not a 3-point shooting team, but because we took so many and only hit a quarter of them, we should have stopped. We should have played and had a different game plan. So, what's your thoughts on that, Marcus?
Yeah,
these last 3 games. We had 3 games since we've been on.
We had the tough one we lost in Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was pretty much a throw up, toss up or whatever for me. You know, we played extremely well. Could have pulled it off at the end, but that's always a tough place to get a win at. But you know, this last game against Oklahoma State, you know, to be up 16, 17 points.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get in the second half, they're making runs. Now it's time to, you know, it's time to score. You gotta milk all of the time out of the clock that you can off the shot clock. We got to get these offensive rebounds. When we get the offensive rebounds, bring it out again and milk the time. If we're not scoring as good as we should have been scoring, or we want to score, then we got to do some other things defensively, and you know, to buy our way out of there. It's extremely. I never won down at Oklahoma State. It's tough. I hate that arena. I absolutely hate that arena. But it's a tough place to win. You know, when we won down there last year, we had some, you know, heroics that we had to do to win the game. But you know me, you know, we have to lock down that inside. I'm looking at the stats now. Caleb didn't score.
Caleb had he played 17 minutes, was 0 for 1. He did not score. He did not score because you look at we shot 3 3-pointers in the second half. We shot 6 in the first half. So we only shot 9 3-pointers total, and we shoot way more than 9. So we were 1 for 3 in the second half and 1 for 6 in the first half. So we weren't shooting the ball. You know, we were playing ball to be up 17. So we were actually ground pounding them, and we weren't relying on the 3. And it seems like we didn't even get back into what we were good at, because we won on these games by hitting that 3 and shooting that 3. And it was the defense just had us locked down, where we weren't even getting those open threes like we typically would have.
Yeah, we got to get to the basket.
Throws too.
Yeah, we got to get to the basket. We got to, you know, one of the biggest things that we were taught is, you know, we're gonna make more free throws than the opponent attempt. That was big for us, to make more free throws, to make them. So once you get to the free throw line, we got to make sure that we made them. But that's all paint play. That's getting deep down inside of the paint, making, you know, putting the game in the referee's hands, putting the pressure on them. It's not going to get any easier. If you're not making those shots from the outside, then, you know, it's going to be a long night. And man, I hadn't been that hot in a while. It was a couple questionable things. Like, I don't do that referee thing, you know. I mean, referees are what they are, whatever. But that one when Oshun missed that dunk and the ball popped to the straight up, and like, I still to this day don't know what was the call, because, you know, the guys were jostling to get ready to box out to jump to get the rebound, and they blew the whistle, and everybody was looking like, well, what's going on? That's a live ball, you know, and that right there kind of took the wind out of the sails a little bit to me, because now, you know, a few things was going on. When Tamman went to the hole and should have been and one, they didn't call that. So it's like, you know, now we're thinking about, you know, are we going to get a fair shake with it or not? And once that snowball go to rolling down the hill, it becomes a mountain real fast.
But here it is, Marcus. 6 for 10 in the second half in 3-point field goals. 3 for 11 in the first half. So they hit 9. We only hit 2. In the second half, you know, they hit 3 shots in a row. I can't remember what Cat hit 2 3-pointers in a row. But they hit 3 in a row total. And one of the cats hit 2. And then the other, but I can't remember. I mean,
I can't remember. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, but they were 60% in the second half. You know, under 30% in the first half, but 60% in the second half. They were 60%, 61% in the second half from field goal percentage in general, 11 for 18. And then they were 53 for, you know, they dropped down a little bit in their free throws, but because they were shooting 60% in the second half, where we were shooting 33%, 35%, you know, that was the thing. So our defense broke down at the end to allow them to get all those threes, because we were worried about trying to win the game and not managing to win.
Correct.
So, you know, and that's one of the things that they can't do, because these close losses are going to be the death of us. We can't have these close losses like this in the Big 12. We got to get up and win. Again, I still am happy that we are playing from ahead this year, because last year we were playing from behind every game. So this year, I'm glad we're playing from behind and we're winning. And these two close losses, I mean, we will go back. When the next game we play, we'll probably win. You know, it's going to go back and forth. That's just how the Big 12 is. But these games with 2 points are going to determine, you know, that Big 12 championship. So we're biting ourselves in the foot. We want that Big 12 championship. We want to go down to Kansas City and get that. You know, but right now, you know, tie for second with Kansas. We got some work to do, and especially we can't let Oklahoma State come back and shoot 60% from the field in the second half of the game and come back and get 17 and make up that 17 points.
Execution.
So what do you say to this team in the locker room, Marcus? What are you saying?
That paint, we gotta control the ball. Like, I mean, you said, you know, we out rebounded them, but I'm used to like that. The rebounding disparity needs to be so one-sided that it's ridiculous. I know Sonny finished, you know, with 7 rebounds, but I mean, with his ability, leaping ability, he should be having 7 rebounds and a half. You know, and that's so big. The defensive rebound is so big because it stops. It doesn't give them at this level. You miss. One of those shots are going to go in after you keep allowing them to have offensive rebounds, and that causes momentum. You know, we have to shut down that lane. We got to be tougher than them on the defensive end. Not worry about the offensive end, because the runners that we have, the shooters that we have, once we get that defensive rebound, then we just go and, you know, into transition. If we don't get anything into, you know, the primary transition to the secondary transition, then we pull it out, manage the rest of the shot clock. You know, sometimes just taking the first open shot isn't the best thing that you want to do. Time and score. If we got the lead, they have to catch us. You know, I'm going to pump fake and, you know, not take this shot. I'm going to pull it out, you know, and see if we can get a better shot. Because if we can get a rush shot in the beginning of the shot clock, you know, that's just as bad as the shot waiting in the end of the shot clock. So getting everything down, you know, to where we're controlling the pace of the game is the best thing that we need to do. K-State, Kansas, Texas, and us. So we're tied second.
Tied second with Kansas. Yep.
Kansas and Texas. They're both 5-2.
Did Texas win today? Texas must have won today.
I don't know. It just says 5-2 in the Big 12. So it says K-State, Texas, Kansas, and then us. And then we're all 5. Us 3 are 5-2, and K-State is 6-1.
So what are you worried about? Are you worried about this season? What are you worried about right now? What in your mind? What worries you right now?
Not much really is worrying me. You know, because even the loss in Kansas was if you want to say a good loss, it was a tough thing to not get at the end. The game yesterday, you know, bothered me because that's one we should definitely close out. I mean, you're not going to see many blowouts. Kansas just completely laid the egg against TCU at home, you know, yesterday. I don't know what that was, but you know, Kansas did us a favor with that loss, and then we turn around and lost to Oklahoma State. So,
yeah,
you know, that's just how the Big 12 is. For the most part, you know, we're at the top of the conference. We have TCU and Baylor right there, but we're not going to count out the rest of these teams. I mean, even like you said, Texas Tech is 0-7 right now, you know, but they started the year off 10-1, 10-2.
Yeah,
you know, so now they're 0-7. You know, but isn't that how we started last year? You know, we won a lot of games, and then we still got to the Big 12 and struggled, and still made to the Sweet 16. So, I mean, that's the 12, man.
Yeah. No, I think you hit it. I think you hit it on the head. You know, and they got some work to do, and I'm glad we didn't record yesterday because I would have had to use the censor button a lot. All of us. I was like, oh, I got that censor button, but you know, it's all good. So. But yeah, I mean, we not worried about it. They've been playing, they've been in the games, losing games. The 3 losses in the Big 12 or the 2 losses in the Big 12 are by 2 points. So we lost by 4 points total in the Big 12. that sucks when you think about it. You know, a win is a win. Doesn't matter if it's 2 points, 1 point, but a win is a win. We lost those games, and to be that close. So we can take pride in that. And especially that we played Kansas so well. And we're going to have to play them again. But, you know, we play Kansas better than we typically play Kansas. And for Kansas to be losing like they are, they're not the powerhouse they used to be. You know, the Big 12 is shifting. So I'm happy about that, you know, because, you know, we don't really want KU always winning, you know.
Right.
But yeah, but it's good. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Osun, he played. He's playing. You know, he's getting better in this system, you know, as we go on. We have to realize too, with the team, the way they're playing, most of them are transfers. So this system that they're in is a new system, even though Grill came back, but it's still a new system for him too. So we gotta say these boys. Well, I don't know what happened. What happened?
Look like a turnover.
I'm thinking so. Okay.
Yeah, they got a pick.
Yep. Let's do it. So yeah, these transfers are playing in a new system. So, you know, I'm happy that they're playing the way they are in this system, which shows that we got a lot going on.
What are you
smiling about?
Oh, because one of my Cowboy friends just texted me like they're ignoring my snaps while the 49ers have the game. And then they text me when the Cowboys have the game. They just text me talking about we're inside the 20. And so when I went back and checked it, now it's all eye roll signs. And that's what made me look at the TV. And when you saw the interception.
Oh man, that's what happens, man. It can change at any point in time, you know. And this is like any given Sunday. We got a lot of time in here. You know, we knew this was gonna be a tough game. I knew this was a tough game. These ain't no slouches making it this far. You know, and Dak's game that he had last week. I'm not even a Cowboys fan, but Dak's game last week.
Yeah, he went crazy.
Yeah, he did.
Man, I mean, I know you a Texas guy, Brent, man, he went off.
Yeah, I'm not a Cowboys fan, but yeah, no, he went off. Game, respect game, man. He had a game, so you can't knock that at all.
No doubt. So as we close out, man, what y'all want to say as we close out on everything we done talked about, and as we go forward in the next week, what y'all looking forward to? What y'all got going on personally? You know, I'm gonna be in Louisville, Kentucky, this weekend. My cousin Brett having his birthday, his 40th birthday. So going out to Louisville, Kentucky, hang out with some family I ain't seen in a minute. I got to dress up. He said even if his grandfather ain't dressed up, he getting kicked out. But I bought a tux during COVID, and I didn't get it hemmed up or anything like that. My thighs don't fit in the pants. I'm 46 long, and the waist in those is 40. And this is, I don't know if I bought a trim, slim tux. I'm a classic guy. So that means I got to do something on these legs, man. You know, I was a football player too, but my legs got to get smaller because I want to wear this tux. And I'm like, man, I tried it on this week. I'm like, damn it, that's too short. I can't go get nothing now. I thought I was like, oh, I'm good.
Just wear the shorts with it, the European look. Shorts to go with.
Ascot. I would be Farnsworth Bentley in that piece.
That's how Dion was the other day. Well, he had on the short sleeve joint. He had on
did he?
Short
sleeve.
He did.
He had the short sleeve jacket. Yeah. They getting unique out here, man.
That's funny.
Getting that $5 million, yeah. He said, "Bring me that lilac, that salmon."
Coach Prime, man. Coach Prime.
I ain't doing much.
I'm excited, man.
Same old this week. Just, you know, the kids are out of school tomorrow for whatever reason again. Something is going on with them, but some for the teachers or something, but I mean the same old, just, you know, trying to get people to go green, working on the different things that we got, you know, with the businesses and stuff, and hopefully, you know, everybody stays safe. That's the biggest thing, you know, trying to keep these kids from being sick.
Yeah.
Man, ain't that the truth?
What you got, Brett?
Time of year. I got nothing, man. We grinding, getting ready. We'll have a busy couple weeks, I guess, in the beginning of April, sorry. Black History Month, we usually get a lot more love
Okay.
Being a black-owned business out here, so we got a couple of big catering. So I'm trying to plan ahead for those, man, as much as possible, so I'm not killing myself. But other than that, it's football, and that's it.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna say one more thing before we head out. So Trice100golf.com is the website for the golf event Friday, June 16th. It's the Friday before Father's Day and Juneteenth, representing what Jack wanted to do, go back down south and teach others how to share crop. We got our first 2 sponsors. So I want to thank Hilliard Industries Inc., cleaning supply company. They are one of our sponsors for the event. And then we got IQ, which is an Iowa native. It's an optometrist. And she is one of our sponsors as well. And she also has a donation gift basket with a couple polarized sunglasses, some wipes, and then a free eye exam. So, she's out in Waukee. So you might have to bid on that basket. She just opened up. She just opened up. So shout out to IQ, shout out to Hilliard, shout out to 3 Beers Media. Shout out to Revelton. Shout out to Brown Dogs Farm.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to the world. Hey, everybody, treat somebody better than you did the previous day. This world is changing right now, and it's election year. So people are gonna get a little feisty right now. So treat your brother the way you want to be treated. When I say brother, I mean all your people. So with that, we gonna holler at you next week. See you. Peace, love, happiness.
Niners.
Yeah.
Niner game.
Go Niners. Let's get it. Let's get it. Halftime. We got another half. This is a 0-0 ball game. You know it. Holla at y'all.
Peace.
Peace.